I would like to ask you a question. Has anyone played a video game at one time? Over the years, video game systems have been accused of causing violence in the youth, and they've been changed to become a little bit more realistic as time has progressed. The video game industry cost over $21 billion, which 50 of their sales in games has a form of violent acts in them. Video games have been blamed for many of this as mass shootings and other criminal acts. But there is no full evidence showing that video games are related to violent acts in the youth. There are many reasons why people play video games. Many people play video games for their stress or possible anger issues they might have. But for more purpose for video games is more the entertainment orientation of it. But they're not created for killings of others. People who are stressed may play these games just to ease their focus and allow them to enjoy their time in the present now than worrying about other things in the past or present future. If these games are complex and the minds can only focus on one task, so this allows others to be thinking about what the game is all about than what is hurting them in their lives. When you hear of mass shootings, people would first state that video games would be the main cause. But if further investigating, people would see the possible mental history of the person in their family. This would have also led a person to do all these deathless crimes. There are many factors that could build up over the years, and a video game wouldn't be the cause to set a person off in this kind of state. Violent video games are played by those who look for entertainment. To play these games, you must plan out your strategy and learn to be quick on your feet to find your next move. With there being 160 million players versus how small mass shootings have been in these past years, they just don't add up. Donald Trump responded to 2 mass shootings by saying that the gruesome and grisly video games are now commonplace. He also argued that we live in a society now that celebrates violence. Now, just one mass shooting is far enough. But to people everywhere that need to look at the full picture and just not assume that video games are enough power to persuade a person to take another person's life. In fixing this problem, I would like to initiate a worldwide age restriction on certain games to play. With this would allow kids from the smaller youth from grades from 1st all the way to 5th, and then from 6th to 8th, they would have a certain age restriction on games they would play. With this, the games they play will be appropriate for their age range and allow them to be playing games that will not influence them to hurt one another. And this would be allowed to be more appropriate for kids and would allow kids to not maybe feed a disorder they may have, which makes them act out in many violent ways. To put this in much focus that games could lead to so much pain, people are always looking for something to help release them from the world around them. With video games, this would allow them to stay away from drugs and alcohol and allow them to focus more on the mind than it would on the body. And with video games, we want to allow more entertainment to be held in the privacy of their own homes.